Welcome back to another episode of MIA Unplugged. My name is Luz Abreu.
And I'm Anthony Spitaleri, and today we're going to talk about 5 home buying mistakes.
Dale.
Dale. So, step number one, or mistake number one, is not working or looking to work with a local real estate expert.
Agree 1,000%. It is so common for buyers to just go online and start looking at properties on any site. And, it is great that we as a real estate agents, we have developed this concept of creating content for everyone to see, to listen, to read. But there is nothing is going to erase the impact that the conversation face to face on Zoom with a real estate expert will provide you. So I absolutely recommend for you, if you are looking to buy a house, to get in contact with a real estate agent who can answer all your questions, who can help you navigate the whole process of buying a house.
Right, the entire process. Plus, living in Miami, as we do, it's our favorite city. There are more than 30 cities in Miami. So when it comes to looking to avoid mistakes, the real estate expert is really going to guide you through not only the entire contractual process,
True.
but also they will help guide you to the perfect neighborhood for you.
Absolutely. And I feel that that is very important because, like, when we are working with someone that is trying to relocate from another state, they don't know. And working with a real estate agent will help them to really understand based on their needs, based on, if they have kids, whatever lifestyle they have, we will be able to guide them to get to the finish line easier and faster.
Yeah, 100%. So
Number two?
number two will be when you're working with the real estate agent,
Mm-hmm.
obviously we're going to have a vendor list. And so the next step would be to get pre-approved or to
Yes.
work with the mortgage lender that we suggest.
100%. When we are going out to see properties, it is impossible for us to, maybe it's not impossible, but it's not the best use of our time and your time as a buyer to go out and look for properties when we don't know how much to you qualify for, and also what is the payment, the monthly payment that you feel comfortable with. Because one thing goes hand in hand with the other. So if I go out to show you property and then, if you fall in love with this property and then you cannot afford it, then what is the purpose? So
Right.
we always recommend for you to get pre-approved first, and then we go out and see properties.
Yeah. Also, because it's happened to us before, is we had people who weren't pre-approved. We went to submit the offer and we missed out. Right. So it
Exactly.
comes down to preparation also, as well as budget. Because also with the pre-approval letter, we can more define what area or community you would want to move to, and then we can focus in on whatever other specifics there are.
Absolutely. And also, something very important is now with the new regulations, we will add to this the buyer agency agreement. So now, when we are going out with the buyer, we will require for the buyer to sign that buyer agency agreement, which allows to represent you in the whole process of buying a house.
Perfect. Also, yeah, in the buyer agency agreement, there is a section that will include the price range. So this will help us determine the price range for the agreement.
Exactly. Number three.
Number three was not often, we always encourage a home inspection.
True.
But when it comes to the results of the home inspection, don't nitpick off of the little
Yes. details. Agree 100%. Like when we see the report, we have to focus on plumbing, structure,
Right.
electrical,
Yes.
like big issues. Like, for instance, if there is a leak on the roof, or if there is something going on with the breakers, or if there's any like foundation structure issue with the house, yes, we go and negotiate. But don't oh, this ball is not working. Like, we just change it. Like, oh, that color of the wall, I don't like it. Don't get yourself into the little details and focus on the big picture, I will
Right.
say.
Yeah, because outlets, they are replaceable. If it's upside down, just flip it in the right
Exactly.
side up.
Yes.
But at the same time, the inspection report will also be used when you do the final walkthrough right before you move in
Yes.
to make sure that everything that worked when we saw the property now works the day of moving.
Exactly. And also, like when we are doing the inspections, sometimes people come to the inspection with the whole family.
It's true.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, of course.
So the inspection day is a day for you to, this is how I call it. It is your second opportunity to see the house from a different set of eyes.
Right.
Because when you go and see the house for the first time, like you are seeing everything that you like about the house. But when you go on the inspection day, you go to see the house with the idea of, oh, this is going to be my house. I'm going to live here. These are the things that I'm going to do to improve the house. But then when you come with papa, mama, uncle, you name it, it's just so much anxiety. And also there is so many people giving their opinions
Right.
when they are no licensed inspector, they are no contractors. It's just their opinions.
Yeah, it's just their opinion. So we rely on the inspector, of course. And then also you have other maybe anxiety, or you could also have other excitement. So during the inspection period, it gives us a greater amount of time to actually go through everything.
Yes.
Because maybe you didn't exactly first feel comfortable. Somebody could have been there, or maybe you didn't want to move the closet door, move things out of the way. But now, as an inspector, with the inspector there, and with, of course, we will be there, we're able to go through things, test all the outlets, whatever it may be, and then we can work out a time to just have a quick conversation with the inspector, either during or afterwards, get a quick recap, and then we wait for the whole report.
Absolutely.
So that allows us to focus without having the whole family there.
I
There'll
think
be a time for the
I think
family.
we should do a episode only on the inspection side.
Oh, we got it. Yeah, for sure.
Number 4.
Number 4 is the budget.
Oh my God, yes.
When you're coming to Miami, obviously Florida as a whole, it's increased in price more than other states. It's one of the top destinations for people moving across the country. So before you come into Miami, have a criteria or budget in mind. That way it will help us prepare where we can actually locate you to, and where someplace that you would love, whether it has the amenities, the school and or the amenities, the lifestyle that you're looking for. And then we
Absolutely.
can just be absolutely clearly defined and go from there.
And also understand that, for instance, if you want to live in a specific neighborhood, let's take, I don't know, Coral Gables, that desire that you have must to be correlation with the amount of money that you have to put down, what is the monthly payment that you want to have, and also it has to be in correlation with the loan approval that you're gonna get. Because, like, for instance, if you wanna come to Miami and you want to be in a city like Coral Gables, for instance, you cannot come with a monthly payment of $3,000 because it's just not gonna work.
Right.
Like, that is impossible. Actually, it will be very unlikely for you to find something like, like a single family house or a townhouse in Miami that you can like have a monthly payment of $3,000, unless of course you are doing like a lot of money on the down payment. But like, generally speaking, we have to make sure that we match how much money do we have to be our monthly payment at, how much money do we have down, where is it that we want to live, how is the loan approval, and then when we wrap all together, then we will have the house that you want to buy.
Right, again. And it's not like you're going to be a terrible neighborhood. No, there are plenty of nice
No,
neighborhoods.
of course,
and all sorts of price ranges. I mean, I think the average right now for a single family home, well, we could say the price range, it starts at $400,000 for a
Yes,
single
the
family
average.
home in all of
yes,
Miami.
in all of Miami,
But
exactly.
of course, it can exceed $50 million, no problem.
Of course, depending where in Miami. And also, like I always tell my buyers, your first home is not your forever home. So we have to start somewhere. And I have so many success stories of people who come to Miami, or, people who live in Miami, and they buy the first home, and then 2 years goes by, and then they have great equity. We sell the property, and then we buy something nicer, something closer to where they want to live or be at. So it is a process. Always remember that you are not buying your first home is never your forever home. So just start the process and you will get wherever you want to go.
100%. And so let's use that one example that you said, hey, look, we started using this one property. It's not going to be their last property. But anyways, they used this one property. They lived in it for X number of years, like 7 years. And then they gained equity. and then they did it again.
Exactly.
Right? So we can say that the future is not always guaranteed. Like we're not going to go back to what it was 5 years ago
Exactly.
in Miami. We're going to continue to keep growing, especially as we have all these major companies moving here for the tax benefits.
Exactly.
Right? The Sunshine State is very hot right now.
Exactly.
Literally
Yeah.
and figuratively. But we're not going to go backwards. Everything we're going to continue to expand.
True.
And with that, things that were available 5 years at those price points, they're not going to be available today.
Exactly. And also, like, when we talk, another mistake that people make is like, oh, because 5 years ago, interest rate were at, I don't know, my interest rate 2.75. It was, I don't know, I bought my house 2015. And it is impossible. Like that time came and go. Maybe at that time, yes, interest rate were at that price at that point, but maybe you were not prepared. Maybe you didn't have the qualifications. Maybe you didn't have the job. Maybe you didn't have the income, or maybe you were not even thinking about buying a house. So we have to forget about the past, and with the resources that we have now today, we can go and decide, well, now I'm ready. This is what I want to do in my life. This is where I see myself on the, medium or long term. Let's just buy something now, and then we will see in the future. If interest rates goes down, then we can refinance. But also we have to understand that when interest rates goes down, prices goes up.
Yes,
So
because
you're already winning when you made the decision now.
right, yeah, and so prices go up also at the same time because there's more demand in the market.
True.
So now there are a bit more listings available today,
Yes.
even though the number of total sales is still down. But at the same time, as interest rates continue to go down and be reduced, like you mentioned, there will be price appreciation and more demand for those homes.
Absolutely, 100%. So there you have it. These were the 5 mistakes that most home buyers make when they are in the process of buying a house.
Exactly.
My name is Luz Abreu, and this episode was brought to you by MIA Unplugged.
I'm Anthony Spitaleri, and we'll see you next time. Dale.
For sure.
For sure.